Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly. This is KBellaBeauty, and I want to first say happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. I hope that you had a nice time with your family. My husband and I actually went on a cruise with some of my extended family, my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, and some of their friends, and it was a really, really good time. We went to the Dominican Republic and to Turks and Caicos to Grand Turk Island. And going on this cruise inspired me to show you guys what I packed. So this video here is going to be a what's in my travel makeup bag, specifically for like an island cruise getaway. So if you're interested in checking out that video, go ahead and keep on watching. I can't remember if it was last summer or 2 summers ago. I did already film a what's in my travel makeup bag, and I can link that down below. But this bag that I packed was specific for like an island getaway. So I thought that I would show you guys again. And I do pack 2 bags. I packed a makeup bag and then a bag for my tools. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I packed for this trip, and I will start with the actual makeup itself that I have inside of this Vera Bradley bag. And I'm just gonna kind of pull out the products that I have here. I'll try to kind of keep it in the order of how I put everything on my face, but I'll have to dig a little bit. So starting out with primer, the primer that I brought with me was the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I really like this, especially for like no foundation days, and I didn't want to wear foundation every single time I put makeup on my trip, just because like when you're out in the sun and like if it's hot or whatever, I don't like my makeup to feel caked on. So that's why I really like an illuminating primer that's gonna kind of give me like a golden glow. And I have a little sample size of this guy. This came in a Play by Sephora, so it makes it really, really easy to travel with. So this is typically the foundation I reach for when I'm traveling, but I know I'm gonna wanna look glowy. And then the foundation that I brought is by IT Cosmetics. It is their CC Plus cream. I like this because it has SPF 50. So it's protecting my skin while also providing me with the coverage of a foundation. I know that this is like a CC cream, which is a color correcting cream, but this really gives me like medium coverage. So I feel like it's much more of a foundation than an actual like color correcting cream. So this is totally a go-to for me, especially if I'm gonna be out in the sun. My holy grail concealer that travels with me is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I'm not like a huge Shape Tape fan, and if you saw my video, I think it was titled like Makeup That Everybody Loves That I Hate, you then know that I don't like Tarte Shape Tape. It's too full coverage, it creases under my eyes. I like more of like a lightweight concealer under my eyes, so that's why I reach for the Urban Decay Naked Skin. To set it all, I do have a small travel size of the Laura Mercier translucent powder. You'll kind of notice like I like to travel with minis, especially if it's like a holy grail product like the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I don't want to risk bringing the large one and then like losing it or something like that. Plus my bag's not really that big, so I don't want to like pack extra stuff. So I really like to go for little minis like this, because then I'm not packing too much, but I still have my favorite powder to set my concealer. I don't set my whole face, I have dry skin, but this does wonders underneath the eyes. I guess we can stick with the face here. The bronzer and contour that I brought is the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. I really like this, and I actually really like the brush that comes with it, because this brush is nice and thin. It reminds me of like the NARS Ita brush, and you can really get a good contour with it. So that's why I like to bring this little boxed guy with me. First of all, it's really durable, but I can use a fluffy brush to get more of like a bronzed look, or I can use the brush that comes with it to kind of give more of like a contoured chiseled look. And I feel like this is just a really good shade for my skin tone. For blush, okay, so one thing when I travel, like I like to have products that I know are gonna perform well for me, but I also like products that I'm not afraid are like gonna break. So I typically don't bring my Makeup Geek shadows, because those are holy grails and like I'm afraid they're gonna break and stuff like that. So I like to bring products that are gonna work for me, but whose packaging I know is durable. So for this trip, the blush that I went with is by Wet n Wild, and this is in the shade Apricot in the Middle. And the reason why I brought this, first of all, is it's like a nice nice neutral shade, but it also has tiny specks of glitter in it. It doesn't come off as like chunky. I don't know if you can tell. It's just like, it gives you a nice sheen. I'm wearing it on the cheeks today, but it just kind of makes me look a little bit more glowy. And if I'm taking an island getaway, I definitely want to look glowy and bronzed. So this was a really good blush for this vacation. I typically do not bring my Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop highlighter and collab with Jaclyn Hill because I'm always afraid that's gonna break, but the highlighter that does no wrong is the Laura Geller. This is the Gelato Swirl Illuminator, the baked highlighter in Gilded Honey, and I really like this guy. It usually is the highlighter that I grab to travel with because it gives your skin a nice glow. You can layer it up if you want more of that pop, or you can just use a light hand and get more of a subtle glow, but this is a really good highlighter option, and it's traveled a lot with me and I haven't had to worry about it breaking. Of course, for brow products, if you've seen my brow routine, you already know that these are the 3 products that I use for my brows. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Caramel. I have the Brow Definer in the shade Caramel, and then of course the Clear Brow Gel. I use those 3 products with my brows. Those are the only products that I use, so they go everywhere with me. I don't go really heavy on the eyeshadow. Actually, most of the time when I'm traveling, I won't put any eyeshadow on at all. But if you've been on a cruise, then you know they usually have like a formal night. And so that would be the night that I'm most likely to put eyeshadow on the lids. So I like to bring an eyeshadow. I like to have options, but a lot of times I'll go for no eyeshadow. However, I did bring my Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden. And then I like to set that with this little Wet n Wild mini. This is, oh no, it's broken. I did not know that. I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, well it broke, and it must have broke on the way back. It was not broken on the cruise, but this is the single shade in Creme Brulee, and I like to use this just to kind of set all over the eyelid. It's just like a nice, almost like the shade of my skin. You can't really tell that I put anything on. It's just like a nice base shade. The palette that I brought with me is one of my favorites. It's by Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Modern Renaissance palette. I really like this palette because first of all, I'm totally a warm toned girl. If you're more cool toned, this probably would not be the palette that you would want to bring with you. But as you can see, there are a lot of warm tones. You have a few cool toned shades, but I can kind of create just like a basic look with this. I can make it a little bit smoky if I want. It can be a little bit more gold, more neutral, but this is the palette that I like to take with me when I'm traveling because I feel like I can create looks that are easy for me. They're fast, but they also are my kind of tones, warm tone shades. I like this palette. When I'm traveling, I don't really like to spend a lot of time on my makeup, so I typically don't do like a winged eyeliner or anything, so I actually didn't bring any eyeliner, but I did bring my Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. I'm really into this mascara. I feel like it kind of lengthens and separates my lashes while giving them a little bit of volume, so I brought this guy with me. Last but not least, my 2 lip options. I don't like to bring a lot of makeup. Like I said, I don't want to spend a lot of time doing my makeup when I'm traveling, so I like to kind of just narrow down my options. So I did bring a nude option. I have my MAC lip liner in the shade Whirl plus Dose of Colors Stone Liquid Lipstick. I like a liquid lipstick because if I'm eating or drinking, it's not going to come off. It's going to be really long lasting, and I really like the Dose of Colors formula. So this was my neutral option. And then I also like to bring more of like a bold statement shade. Since it was Christmas, it's only fitting that I reached for a red. So I did bring the MAC lip pencil in the shade Brick. It is just a red lip liner. And then I have my Too Faced Melted Matte. This is in the shade Lady Balls. This is like my go-to red. So that's what I brought with me there. That's it for all of the makeup. So if you only care about the makeup and not the tools, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you also want to see the tools that I brought with me, these are, I guess you could say, like my favorite brushes since they're the ones that I brought with me, then go ahead and keep on watching this part of the video. I felt like I brought a pretty good amount of brushes. I tried not to go overboard. I tried to just grab the brushes that I use every single day. And of course I did pack my beauty blender as well. I typically put it inside of a plastic baggie and then I'll leave it right inside the container with my brushes as well. The face brushes that I brought, my blush brush is by Real Techniques. I think it's just called the blush brush, simple enough. To bronze up the skin and contour a little bit. I think this is a crown brush. It actually does not say anything, but I'm pretty sure I got this from Hautelook, and it's just like an angled contour. I think it's called an angled blush brush, honestly, but I like to use it to like contour and bronze up the skin, so I brought that with me as well. Of course, to highlight, I have the Sigma. This is the F35, the tapered highlighter brush. And that's it for face brushes. The rest that's left in here are all eye brushes. I did bring several options for blending. So first of all, I brought the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush. This is what I use to kind of buff out whatever my crease shade is gonna be, just to kind of blend everything together. I use that brush. If I want to concentrate in the crease more, the two brushes that I brought for that are both by Morphe. One is the Y17 and this one is the Y19. So the Y17 is a little bit fluffier and the Y19 is a little bit more tapered. So this one would be if I wanted my crease color to kind of go a little bit higher on the lid, but if I want to concentrate like right in the crease, then I would use the Y19 because it's a little bit more tapered. Also, just to have options, my Morphe M513, again, another blending brush. This one is a little bit more thick, so I wouldn't use it to kind of define in the crease, just more for like a transition shade. I also brought my Sigma E25, although I don't really think I used this guy. He would be definitely if you want to concentrate product in the crease, or if you want to pat it in the outer V, this would be a good brush for that one. When I was using that Wet n Wild single shade that broke in Creme Brulee to kind of set my primer, I like to use this brush by Real Techniques, and it's worn off completely, so I don't know what it's called, but I did get it in a set, and I just use it to kind of dust shadow all over the eye. For my lid shade, the two brushes that I use, this one is the Urban Decay shadow brush. It comes in the Urban Decay Naked palettes. And then this one, I think I got in an Ipsy bag by Royal & Langnickel, the medium eye shader. I really like these two to put a shimmer shade on the eyelid, basically. For my lower lash line, I use this 282 Eye Fluff Brush by Inspire. This just kind of gives me like, I would use like my transition shade, whatever I used in my crease, to kind of buff out my lower lash line. And then I would go in with my Morphe Y21 brush. I hope you can see that, to kind of give me like liner or deepen the outer V. I would put this right close up underneath my lash line. And then I use this Real Techniques accent brush to pop a little bit of highlight on, or to highlight the brow bone. And this is the Morphe MB23, and this I use with highlighter to get my Cupid's bow and also the tip of my nose. And those are all my brushes. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Those are all of the makeup products and makeup tools that I brought on my cruise with me. Again, I kind of geared this toward a tropical vacation, so I wanted to glow and I didn't want my makeup to be too heavy. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I am hoping to get some filming in this week because I'm still on vacation from work, but my husband and I have a wedding to go to in Atlanta next week. So I do kind of want to pre-film a little bit and get some videos ready for you guys, but I would love to hear in the comments down below what kinds of videos you want to see in 2018. And if you follow me on social media, on Twitter at KBellaBeautyXO, or on Instagram, just KBellaBeauty, then you might have seen that I want to start a new series in 2018. And it won't be like every week, because I don't think that I can do 3 videos a week. I already post Wednesdays at 5 p.m. and Saturdays at 11 a.m. CST. But every now and then, maybe like once a month, I want to throw a Test It Out Tuesday video. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to call it Test It Out Tuesday or Try It Out Tuesday. I think people were helping me on Twitter, and I think we went with Try It Out Tuesday. I want to have like a Try It Out Tuesday video where I'm just trying out products that are new and kind of giving you like a first impression and letting you know my thoughts on it. So I was thinking about like the new Wet n Wild brushes. Maybelline's coming out with a new like Temptation line that I thought. There's like an eyeshadow palette and a mascara and an eyebrow pencil that I thought I could try out for you guys. I know I've had a request to try out some Fenty Beauty products, and then of course Kylie Cosmetics is coming out with some lipsticks. So whatever you guys want to see me try out, leave in the comments down below or send me a message on Twitter or Instagram. I would love to hear from you guys. Otherwise, I'm going to stop blabbing. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.